Welcome to my channel, Yoda Yoga. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Jen, and we are going to move through some of the standing postures in the Hot 26. So I teach a variety of classes, and I started taking hot yoga in late 2012, and I admit I did not like it. I wasn't prepared is really what the problem was. So once I figured out how to prepare properly by hydrating well the day before, I started to really fall in love with this particular practice, and I have consistently practiced for the last 10 years, and now it is my favorite class to teach. So you can, if you are familiar with the Hot 26, you can choose to hold these postures for longer periods of time. But we're not going to do that. This is only meant to be 10 or 15 minutes. And I think that these particular postures help to energize the body. And maybe this is a good practice to do early in the morning to just kind of get you moving here. So coming to Tadasana, starting in this mountain pose, we root the feet into the mat, lift the toes and give them a little wiggle, so that your feet are not gripping. Lift the knees, engage the thighs, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and roll them down the back. Shine the palms towards the front of your mat. Maybe you close the eyes and start to settle into your breath, into your space. Take a few cycles of breath here. Blink the eyes open. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers. Release those index fingers. We're coming into Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon, which is different than a half moon in a vinyasa practice. The biceps are by the ears. We reach at center, and on our exhale, start to tip our way over to the right. So traditionally this is held for 60 seconds on either side. Now you will see I'm not coming too far over to the right. The reason for this is that not only do we want that elongation in the left side, we also want that elongation in the right side. You don't want to just bend over and cause that crunching. The purpose of this posture is to lengthen. So something that I see in class a lot is that the body starts to kind of go like this. You want to shift so that you are squaring off the chest and the hips. This might mean by bringing that right armpit to face the front of your mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, tip your way over to the left. And again, if you want to hold this posture longer, you can pause the video, or you can run this at a slower pace. I will come back to doing longer videos, and while the hot practice doesn't necessarily need to be in a heated room, it is definitely so much better. Inhale back to center. Exhale, float the hands down by the sides. Taking a back bend here, I always suggest starting your back bends with the hands on the low back, like you are tucking your hands into pockets. The elbows point towards the back of your mat. On an inhale, gaze towards the sky. Exhale, start to follow that gaze towards the back of your room, back of your mat, pressing the hips towards the front of your mat. Only going as far as feels comfortable. You don't want to start to dump in the back. This can start to cause injury. Inhale back to center. Exhale, take a forward fold here. Taking just a few cycles of breath. Inhale, roll your way back to standing. And step to the back side of your mat here. You can do the front, but I'm going to be moving out to the right. If you want to move out to the left to start, that's certainly up to you. Inhale the arms overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, step out to the right with that right foot. Arms come parallel to the mat. Point the right toes towards the front of the mat, coming into a warrior two, bending in that right knee. Take the gaze towards that left shoulder. Flip the palms. Keep the gaze towards the left shoulder and start to tip your way down, bringing that right elbow to the inside of the right knee. Left fingertips reach high for the sky. So in the hot practice, this is a triangle. In a vinyasa practice, this is a side angle. So in that hot space, we keep that elbow above the knee. We keep the reach with the right fingertips high. We're not reaching for the toes on the mat. The gaze can be up at the fingertips to the side of your mat or down at the toes. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Turn all 10 toes to the side of your mat. Step the feet together. Arms come up overhead. Exhale, float the hands down by the sides. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, stepping out to the right. This time, as the arms come down, we come into warrior two on the left. Left toes point towards the back of the mat. And you might need to extend the stance a little bit if you're finding that it's a little too short of a stance. Take the gaze over that right shoulder. Flip the palms. Tip your way down, bringing that left elbow to the inside of the left knee, reaching those right fingertips high. Squaring that chest towards the side of your mat. If you would like to challenge yourself, that straight arm can come lifted in either direction. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten the left leg. All 10 toes point towards the side of the mat. Step the feet together, arms overhead. Exhale, arms float down by the sides. Take a few cycles of breath here. So as I'm moving through these postures, this is not the exact sequence. These are just some of the postures in the standing series. So if anybody's saying, what's happening? It's not the exact sequence. So just like I said, a few postures to get that heart rate up. I'm going to face front here so that you can see as I move into this standing forehead leg to knee, how the positioning is. So we come back to Tadasana. Lift that right foot stays flexed. That right leg stays at a 90-degree angle. If you have a chair next to you, you can use it. I happen to have a chair right here. Bring the palms down by the hips, allowing them to shine towards the front of your mat. Or maybe you start to round in the spine and take a hold of that knee by interlacing all 10 fingers under the knee. Keep that right leg at that 90-degree angle. Keep that right foot flexed. Or come back to standing. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Moving on to the left side, we pick up that left foot. Left foot stays flexed. Left leg stays at that 90-degree angle. Palms shine towards the front of your mat or towards wherever you may be watching this video. Maybe you round down, maybe you take a hold of that knee. One more inhale. Exhale. Release. Take a few cycles of breath here. Making our way into tree posture. So I'm going to walk through traditional tree. If you are a practitioner of the Hot 26, you know that this is not tradition in this particular space. I don't find that a half lotus tree works as well in a non-heated space. So this is yogi's choice. I am choosing to bring the sole of my right foot up into my left calf. You can also bring it up into that left thigh. Maybe I will stay right here. Maybe the hands come together at heart center. Maybe the arms float up overhead. Hands can always stay on the hips. Release that right foot down. Maybe you shake out the hips just a little bit. Before switching sides, the inside of the left foot comes to the inside of the right calf, or up inside that right thigh. Palms together, hands on hips, or hands up overhead. As you're ready, slowly releasing that right foot back down to the mat. Coming back to Tadasana, taking just a few more cycles of breath here. If you would like, you are more than welcome to end this sequence in a Shavasana. If you feel like you are on the go and this was enough, end right here in Tadasana. Bring the palms together at heart center. Take a deep inhale. Sigh it out of the mouth. I thank you for joining me, and I hope you will subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful day.